This is Lily, and I gained 10 pounds after I came back from the vacation. And for a whole month, I was away. And of course, I gained 10 pounds, and I just tried to figure out how to lose weight or 10 pounds lose weight. And this is my fourth week. This is 22 to 28 days. So I want to talk about what I ate for the fourth week. So third week, I lost 4.2 pounds. And the fourth week, actually, I gained from 3 to 4 weeks. But I totally expected. The reason is, as a woman, we have a cycle. Around the cycle, we get so hungry. So it depends on the people, but my case is around ovulation or around the, woman cycle. I get so hungry. Sometimes one or other, or sometimes both. Depends how my life or my day goes. And that week I was so hungry. So I don't blame myself. If I want to eat, I'm so hungry due to those cycle that all women understand and related to that. And if you're a woman, I hear you, understand you don't want to overeat or you don't want to try to exercise, you don't feel like it. I totally get it because I'm a woman. I totally understand. So on diet, probably you try to restrict diet because you try to lose weight or you try to work out more, you try to walk more, whatever you want to lose weight. Don't stress out. This is your life, and try to think about your body first, then try to lose weight because of this is a lifetime change. It's not 1 week is gonna affect whole entire rest of your life. Okay? Please hear me out. I used to think that way. If I try to be caloric deficit for 1 day and it's going to affect rest of my life. No, just 1 week. Rest of your life for, 20 years or 30 or 50 years, 1 week is not big deal. So don't worry about it. So I ate whatever I want, seriously, for a whole week. Yes, I try not to, so my major is I try not to over calories. I don't count calories for this diet. I used to. That's how I lost 20, 30 pounds before. I don't count calories. So I focusing on my intuitive, but based on the knowledge I already have, and try to be focusing on macro, which is carb is 50, protein is 20, 30, fat is 20, 30. So I'm not really counting calories, but I kind of know what is a portion for me. And the carbs is I make pre-made, precise rice that you can see that works for me. And I want to talk about the fourth week, why I gain weight. I have 3 meals a day and 1 snack. So 4 meals a day. That's my plan. If I wanted to eat more I would eat. And if I'm not that hungry from previous meal, then I skip. Or if I'm busy, I skip. I try not to skip my meal. That's my ideal for me because I tend to have overeating next meal. So I try not to skip. But things happen. So anyway. This is day 22nd. The morning breakfast, I have, as usual, I tend to have a soup and rice, any carbs, and then any vegetable and protein. That's my meal for me. And that day was 1 egg, soft-boiled egg, natto, and pork was my protein. And then carb is, as usual, porridge is watered down rice. That's what I like. I measure 150 grams. This is what I eat every single kind of meal. I tend to have something else for the carb, but that's easier for me. And then that day I crave for like a something spicy. So I made Korean bibimbap. It's a Korean mixed veggie bowl. Lunch, I went out to have lunch with my husband. I tend to forget to take pictures or take a video before I start eating. That's my problem, but this is how it looked. This is a pho, a special, so tons of meat in there. And then I ate all the protein, so it's a noodle only left. So, but I had some leftover, so I took it home. Dinner, I had rolled egg and as usual soup, porridge, my carbs, and this is a salmon that my husband cooked. And other thing else, I'm not sure you're gonna count on that, but I count potato as a carb, and I have carbs and some veggie fiber in there. that's what I like about my porridge, because porridge is 150 gram of carb, but still much less carb since I'm eating a lot of veggie or something. As you know, taste, I put some sugar in some food, so it's considered also carb as well. So I don't have to worry about too much carbs. So this is working out for me. After the dinner, I had an apple and went out to have ice cream with whole my family together. And I love waffle, and I had whatever the leftover from my daughter. My husband bought some nuts, macadamia, white chocolate cookies that, of course, I have to taste. I had so much sugar craving that day. Day 23. This is leftover from last night pho. And of course, I didn't have any protein, so I added protein pork, rolled egg because of this is eggs, and the salmon as a protein. And the carb is, of course, a rice noodle. That's my carb. And you would think about fat is pork has also fat, nice fat. Salmon has a nice fat, and the eggs also has really nice quality fat. So I don't add that much oil or anything. Lunch is, this is a Japanese potato stew that I made other day. This is a leftover I eat as a soup. But this is tons of chicken in there, minced chicken. This is also considered carbs and protein. And the carb is porridge, and then protein. And also protein and fat is whole egg. And I made shrimp, chili, oil shrimp. I didn't put that much oil because all oils tend to be high calories. And rolled egg as a protein, and shrimp is nice protein as well. Snack was, my daughter has some leftover apple, so she ate some, and then whatever the leftover was my snack. Dinner was, still had a Japanese potato stew that as I had as a side. It's more like a soupy, and the porridge, and then shrimp as protein. And then I'm not sure you guys like, I love chicken gizzard, so that's what I had. And a nice protein, but not too fat. I think probably like 80% protein and 20% fat, I believe. So it's not too high fat, which also I like. And raw egg is nice quality fat, and then also protein. Of course, I have a sweet tooth. I had dessert with my family, and I picked fruit mix for after dinner dessert. Day 24 is as usual 3 meals and 1 snack. Breakfast was prosciutto and cream cheese and half bagel. Lunch is bibimbap, and this time is soft boiled egg, shrimp is, and some salmon flake that I had. That's going to be my major protein. And then some chicken in the soup, but not that much. And carb was porridge underneath, I believe. And Japanese potato stew was still in there, so I tried to finish it up. I believe that was the last. Snack was leftover from last night, mixed berries, and that's what I had for snack. And of course, I was craving for some chocolate. I had a cocoa nibs, unsweetened. And then Japanese souvenir. I had a trip in Japan, so this is souvenir. This is a dried plum, dehydrated plum. That's I had as a snack as well. And dinner is as usual sushi and pizza. That's our thing. That's what we like. Day 25. That day I was craving for some sweets. So breakfast is soup, porridge, and then protein. I had salmon flake and then chicken gizzard. That was my protein. Carb is porridge. You can see chicken gizzard was protein 78% and 22% fat, and chicken breast is 88% protein. It's a 12% fat. So if you are looking for lower calories, just lower calories, no protein. If you're focusing on protein, is different goal. But if you're looking for just lower calories, and then chicken gizzard is winner. I bought fancy chocolate for myself and sourdough and sea salt. I would dark chocolate, but it was so nice. And then dinner as usual, pak choi, some soup. So that was a pak choi soup. Porridge was my carb, and chicken gizzard and some chicken breast, I believe, underneath of this lotus fruit. And that was such a nice feast because my parents-in-law they were visiting, and then we have a nice feast together, dinner. Oh, so we did not have lunch because we were so busy fixing up our basement. That's right. So breakfast and some snack, then have a dinner. And then after the dinner, I have dessert, the coconut custard pie. I finished that with red grapefruit seltzer. Day 26. Breakfast as usual. My carb was porridge and then leftover from last night, so many of them. And this is like a Chinese pork bun that I really like. This is considered pork. So, but a lot of fat in there for sure. So fat, protein, not that much high protein, and the carb. And always have a soup. Soup also include a tofu and little protein in there, and chicken breast and lotus roots and other veggie on the side. Still have a leftover chocolate. That's what I had right after the breakfast because I couldn't resist my chocolate. And brunch, I was so hungry that day. So brunch, I had a whole bagel plus cheese on the top. Right after the brunch, I had some snack again, pecan and raisin with my daughter. Lunch, I had a soup and I added it tofu and porridge, boiled egg, and chicken breast, lotus roots as protein, and tofu and egg protein, and nice fat as well. All veggie on the side dishes. Pretty much just leftover from the other day. Dinner, we went to K-Pot because that's our place to go. That was the dinner, and I had tons of fried stuff that I don't cook fried food at home. So this is my treat. And then dessert, we like hot pot over grill, so we tend to do that. And the dessert was, I had a watermelon and orange. Of course, I have to have 2 plates all the time because I have such a sweet tooth and I love any fruits. Day 27. Started with my breakfast and a soup, miso soup as usual, and then 3 eggs because I didn't have enough protein. We tend to have a pre-made or made prep meal for protein, but that day we didn't have. So I just made 3 eggs and a porridge underneath and all the vegetable on the side. I didn't have lunch because I believe I was so busy. So dinner was, this is mapo tofu, just a Chinese tofu, little soupy look, but this is tofu and then chicken, minced chicken in there, and a pork rib. Oh, you know what? I use a pork rib because that's what only protein I had. So pork rib soup, pork rib tofu, pork rib, some grilled, and that was my protein. But pork rib tend to be high fat and low protein, so I added a soft boiled egg as well. My daughter's leftover, of course, and she wanted to have a bagel cheese. My daughter's leftover apple, I finished it up. Day 28, I start with half bagel and I believe cream cheese in the middle, and probably half leftover from my daughter or my husband, whatever the leftover I have. And I had leftover pork rib soup, and since I had some carbs, I skipped the carb and I just added a tofu and egg for my protein and pork rib in the tofu as well. And I believe that day I was so hungry, so I had like a second breakfast for whole bagel with vegan cream cheese. Right after that, I had a snack, and this is Japanese dried plum and tangerine. Then again, dates and walnuts. Before the lunch, I was craving for sweets, so this is frozen sweet potato. I boiled them and then froze them. It tastes like ice cream and I really love it. Sweet and then sweet because sweet potato, and then also ice cream texture that I love. And about lunch, it's not really lunch, it's like a 2 p.m. I had 3 slices of, this is a vegan cream for sure, and then smashed jam that I love, raspberry, And right after the bread, I was still hungry. So this is porridge underneath and soft boiled egg and natto. This is protein. I added a protein as well. After pick up my daughter, I had donuts and leftover from my daughter as well. I was still hungry. So I picked up my favorite sourdough bread. I love bread, especially I love sourdough bread. Went to park with my daughter, and of course, I ate almost all the sourdough bread that day. After I came back from the park, I had a chocolate and a sourdough bread. Sourdough bread was only 3 slices left over, I believe. And that day was, this is it. I was so hungry that day.